Are you stuck at home with your family 24/7 with little or no time away from each other? Do you have children constantly following you around asking you what they can do next because they're bored? Do you feel like you're a referee constantly dealing with temper tantrums or breaking up arguments and fights? Are you feeling out of your depth when it comes to helping your older children with their homeschooling tasks? Does it seem like on most days you can't seem to get one moment alone for yourself? Do you feel at times like you're juggling more and more during your day? Does the thought of spending another day stuck at home with your family and doing it all over again have you falling into a fetal position and gently rocking yourself into despair? Then you've come to the right place. Stay tuned because today, for a one-time only special, I'm going to be offering you some practical tips that you can adopt into your day to help it run much smoothly. And scene. The impact of the coronavirus pandemic can feel like your family life has been turned upside down. As parents, you've had to adapt to things like social distancing, lockdown, the shutting down of fun places that you could usually take your children to, like the park, and homeschooling, all of which has us consequently living in conditions where we're mostly at home with little or no time away from one another. It's a lot to take on, and it's no wonder parents are left feeling overwhelmed when navigating this uncertain time. Before I continue, I'd like to ask: self-comparison, unrealistic expectations, self-criticism, guilt, despair, failure, and defeat to leave the room, as I really feel that they can be a major source of distraction and can easily sabotage your day when they're around. So here are my tips for avoiding difficult scenarios during your day. Living together in each other's company all day long is a guaranteed recipe for arguments, temper tantrums, and escalating tension. Creating a family agreement is a great safety net for ensuring your children have guidelines for expected behaviours to help foster respect, tranquility, and help your children to feel safe by knowing where their boundaries are. Furthermore, your children are more likely to follow the agreement because they've been involved in the process of creating it. So, how do I create a family agreement? Well, you'll need to grab a piece of paper and texters, call a family meeting and explain the activity, collaborate with creating a list of up to 7 behaviours which everybody agrees to. And this list can include statements like, I agree to keep my hands and feet to myself, or I agree to use kind words when I'm speaking, or another one, I agree to listen when mum and dad ask me to do something, and so on. It's important that you include consequences for not following the agreement, such as removing toys for 10 minutes or have time out to calm down. It's been my experience that children come up with great consequences. For younger children in the family, it's helpful to add a picture which illustrates each agreement. When your family agreement is completed, you can get the children to decorate it and then have everybody sign the agreement. For younger children who can't sign their name, you can have them use a fingerprint instead. Remember to praise your children when you see that they are following the agreement, particularly as this is helpful with reinforcing the behaviours you want to see. A great way to do this for younger children is to create a visual aid, such as a rewards chart. Lastly, decide on a place where the agreement can be displayed for all to see and to refer to. Doing this can help to restore a sense of normality and purpose to your daily life during COVID-19, particularly if you have children of varying ages at home. Sit down the night before and on a piece of paper map out a schedule of tasks for the following day, taking into consideration things like your children's homeschooling timetable, the nap times of your younger children, meal times such as breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea and dinner. A great idea to limit snacking is to have your children pack their morning tea, lunch, and afternoon tea the night before. Incorporate free time, chores that have to be done, activities that you can engage your younger children with, as well as activities that you can do together as a family. Also consider bath times and bedtimes in your planning. When you take all of these things into consideration, it can help you to structure your day in a way that allows your children to feel more settled by having a better sense of what their day can look like. It allows you to prioritise your time and availability more effectively, as well as plan some time out for you. At the beginning of your day, sit down with your children and have a discussion about the plans for the day. And with the consideration of your children's input, you can finalise your plans for the day at this time. Giving your child notice as to when an activity is beginning and a warning to let them know that an activity will be coming to an end will help to minimise stress and frustration, as well as help your child to develop important school readiness skills. Ways that you can transition your child can be to use verbal cues. For example, you can play with your Play-Doh before lunch. Then, it's almost time to pack away for lunch. And it's time to pack away for lunch. For older children, you can use a clock as a visual cue. For example, when the big hand is on the number 12 and the little hand is on the number 6, it will be time to pack away for lunch. Another way to help transition your child is to use a timer with an alarm, such as your oven or microwave. For example, when you hear the alarm go off, it means it's time to start packing away for lunch. Living under the conditions of the coronavirus pandemic can at times be unsettling and leave your children feeling anxious, stressed, upset, or overwhelmed. It's essential that your children know that they can talk to you about their concerns and worries during this time, but creating a safe space in your home where children can go to calm down is a great way to teach them self-regulation. An example of creating this space is to use a tent or construct a tent using bed sheets. Set this up in a corner within a common area of your home. Place a blanket and pillows inside, along with soothing items such as books, soft toys, mandala colouring in sheets and pencils, and homemade stress balls made with old socks. Alternatively, you could designate a particular area in your home as a calming area and set it up in a similar manner. Once you've set up the calming area down, have a talk to your children about why, how, and when they can use the area. It's important to be flexible and adaptable because the fact is that for unseen reasons, things don't always go as planned, or there are things that you can't always plan for. Acknowledge that you can only do the best you can during these circumstances and that these things will soon pass. Finally, give yourself a pat on the back if you're managing to keep your family safe and holding on to your sanity. I hope these tips come in handy. Take care and goodbye for now.